Hi friends, we're now going to go and we're going to learn about the surface area of cones. Now cones are very, very similar to the formulas that we use for the surface area of pyramids. They're easier because you only have one type of base. You will only have a circle for your base. So we kind of can picture that when you're working with it. Now we have several different parts and we're going to make sure that we plug them in here so you have those. But by the way, remember these can show up on quizzes and tests and we have to have them memorized to do that. The very first thing you need to remember is that every cone has a vertex. Just like the top point of a pyramid, we have the top point of a cone. It's called the vertex. We also, like we do with cylinders, have what's called an axis. Now the axis goes from the vertex point to the center every single time. We know we have two different types of cones. The axis of a right cone, which is like right cylinders and right prisms, is perpendicular to the base, so it's really huge. And then we have what's called the oblique cone. So by the way, let me label these so you know those. And the oblique cone, this would be oblique here. The axis doesn't have to be perpendicular. Now we do have again what we call the slant height, and it's huge because it just goes down the surface, straight down the surface of a cone. So again, we're going to let L be our slant height, but it goes right here. It's huge that you know slant height. And it only works with, again, with a right cone. And we also have what's called the altitude. Now the altitude, and I like the definition of this, is the perpendicular segment from the vertex straight down to the plane of the base. So you notice that right there is your altitude. Well, on a right cone, your altitude is also your axis. And so you're going to get your height from there. So here's the thing you need to remember. Look what happens when I draw in my radius. Yes, your height, your radius, and your slant height, and I'm going to draw it right here so you can see that. Your height, your slant height, and your radius will make a right triangle. So we're going to have to use that to solve for missing slant heights. So we're going to end up using the Pythagorean theorem once again. Now, I want to show you how we derive the lateral area and surface area of a cone. It really is nothing different than really a pyramid. So remember, the lateral area of a pyramid is 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slant height. Well, what's the perimeter of a circle? That's its circumference. So I get 1/2 of 2 pi r times the slant height. Well, 1/2 of 2 is 1, so that becomes pi r L. That's the lateral area for a cone. It's really easy to do. The radius of the base and the slant height. So see where we have our slant height is here, our radius right there. Again, don't forget drawing your height. What do we get? A right triangle that we can use. Well, your surface area is always going to be your lateral area, but you're going to add on to the area of your base, your circle. So hopefully, some of you would probably go surface area is lateral area plus pi r squared. That's fine. Whatever works to help you memorize these. These are not hard. So let's go ahead and calculate these. Now notice I don't force you to draw the base because the base is always going to be a circle. And if you can work with the radius or diameter, you're going to be fine. So here they tell us the radius is 9 centimeters and the slant height of a right cone is 5 centimeters. Find the lateral area and the surface area. Well, your lateral area, we write down our formula. Don't forget this. I know some of you just think, why do I always have to write these formulas down? Well, let me tell you, in 2 years, you're still going to have to memorize and be able to apply these formulas for the ACT. And they're not given to you, so you have to make sure you know them. So here, my lateral area is pi times the radius times my slant height. So that's 45 pi square centimeters. And once again, if I don't tell you how to answer it, do it in the most exact form. My surface area is my lateral area plus the area of my base, which is pi r squared. So I plug in what I already know, and then I put in my radius. So I get 45 pi plus 81 pi. I add my like terms together, 126 pi square centimeters. So we can easily get your lateral area and surface area here. All right, we're going to flip the page over and we're going to finish calculating these.